Hi, it's Scott Fox from expertwebsitereviews.com here today to talk about Calusa surf ski.co.uk. This is an expert website review for my friend Paul from Wales in the United Kingdom. Welcome, Paul. Thanks for reading my books and listening to my podcasts. I'm doing my best to help you out, and let's see what we can do today to help make you some more money online and join the ranks of the click millionaires. So looking at this website, I thought it was very attractive. You've got some really nice graphics, obviously have some talented graphic designers on staff, or at least on board with you. No pun intended there. Selling snowboards, surfboards, surf clothes, ski wear, and a lot of stuff for outdoor fun. So the question that Paul posed to me when he visited expertwebsitereviews.com to request this review was really basically how could they sell more goods? They put together a very attractive site, but he'd like to sell more. So what can we do to optimize this site so that Paul and his team at Calusa Surf and Ski can make more money online? Well, let's start at the top. I had a little problem loading the page, Paul, which might be interesting to you. I couldn't replicate it. Well, actually, I could replicate the problem. I couldn't replicate it. What I saw the first time I visited here was, I think it was 3 or 4 graphic panels, like this one that says surf. The first time I visited, there was one for surf, there was one for ski, and I think there were a couple more further down the page. Every time I've revisited, I've gotten this layout, which is specifically surf only. Now, I've tried this for you in Internet Explorer, in Firefox, and here we're surfing in Chrome. And on all these browsers now, somehow I've been cookied so that I only see the one version. And I think that's probably not what you intended. So there needs to be something examined on the more technical side of things as to what is cookieing or logging me somehow so that it defaults to a particular view. I think that that's probably hurting you because once you do that, it looks like you're only a ski and snowboard shop here. Even when I click on the home to revisit it, there it is real quickly. Oh, did you see it? I saw it real quickly. There were 4 panels, and then it bumps me to surf as though I had already chosen surf. And I don't mind surf. I live in Southern California. I used to surf myself occasionally. But I think that's against the intention that you're demonstrating. And I think it makes a big difference in terms of what you're representing to the public. So maybe your internal testers are not seeing that. So somebody needs to look at that. Okay, enough on that. So assuming that we go past that home page and there are those 4 panels, and you pick one, you're going to get something like this. So here we've got a very nice looking page. You guys have some really pretty photographs. I don't know if these are stock photos or things you've commissioned, but very attractive photography. I like the design, the layout. It looks professional. It looks hip. It looks surfy. All the things that I think you want to attract your audience. Now let's talk about the things that I think you could change. The things I think you could change, well, there's quite a few, and they revolve around focusing on the products and focusing on differentiating your site from your competitors. So let's start at the top. First of all, up here you've got a very crowded navigational bar. I love this element of the little rip curl style waves. That's a cute element, but you've got a lot of navigation going on here. You've got all the stuff across the top. You've got this column going up and down here. Then you have all these brands over here. Plus you've got this bit over here with the shipping and the credit card logos and stuff. That's a lot for the eye to look at. And then you're reinforcing that shape here. I like the mimicking of the columns. I think it's a pleasant layout, but I think it might be too much for the average consumer. They might get a little bit distracted. So the one I like the least is this bit at the top. It seems to me that very little of this is important. I think, and frankly, you could get rid of this, pretty much this whole thing. I mean, home, well, that's nice, but this should be linked as well, and maybe you could just slip a little home in here or introduce a few of these items over in this column or here instead. It would give you some more space here above the fold, and a lot of this isn't important and it's distracting. Like the first thing I need to see is not necessarily about us, although I'll come back to that. What's your news? Well, you didn't have a lot of news last time I looked. Let's see. Hot trends for 2011. Well, it's almost 2012, and this is all just text and none of your pretty pictures anyway. I'm not sure that's a big focus for you. Special offers is nice, but you've got that here pretty prominently as well. Delivery, terms and conditions, that stuff, that should be at the bottom of the page. That's after they've decided to buy something. Nobody's going to buy or not buy based on your terms and conditions. They're going to go shopping first. Then they might look at the terms and conditions and decide to buy or not buy. Shopping cart and checkout, yeah, those are good, but you've kind of got that stuff over here already. Sign up for what? I'm not sure. I presume you mean an email newsletter. Let's go find out. Yes. Okay. Well, that deserves much more prominence than it has, actually. I didn't even notice it. Contact us, maybe, but that's right next to call, and you have your phone number. Basically, I think this whole line could go away. You could keep this cute little wave element, but maybe use it somewhere else, and move the whole site up a little bit and gain some of that real estate back. All right. Now, another thing I noticed is, like I said, I like the columns. I think that's nice, although that's more a personal, like, design aesthetic decision than a usability one. From a usability point of view, you see this kind of layout. You know what? I'm going to move this up so that we get rid of that top bar there. See? Look how much cleaner the site looks? There. See, if you just started it kind of there, it's a lot less distracting. Okay, so if you've got these columns over here, you see this on blogs a lot of times, but I don't see it too often on a retail site. It seems to me that most people are used to all this stuff being over on the left side. Now, I know you want to be cool and innovative. You're a surf and ski company. You're hip. But if you want to sell stuff, I think I would at least look around at some of your competitors or try testing moving these over to the left, or at least one of them, this navigation column. This is more branding and marketing, and maybe you have deals with Solomon and Columbia and Billabong that you have to put these on your site. That's fine. But again, I'm not sure that having these two columns over here on the right is what's going to help you sell more. And I think it'd be worth testing to try moving it to the left. Now we come to the big problem, and this is the biggest problem with the site. You talk too much. Look at all these words. All these words, and this is true on page after page. This is sort of a category page, but your products are way down here. And you've got this stuff about you're in Swansea, up-and-coming events, and pictures of your store. And I like the pictures of the store, and we'll come back to that in a second. But where are the products? If somebody finds your store, they want to buy something, presumably, right? They Googled on perhaps ski goggles, and they're looking for ski goggles. Okay, there we've got some ski goggles. I think you need that stuff much more up front without all the verbiage. A lot of these pages have way too much talking, particularly your home page. There, I saw that 4-column thing again, right? This page is very deceptive, and not deceptive in a bad way, but I mean, it's not doing what you want. You need products up there. How about some featured products? If you want people to buy something, to view this as a store, get the products up there. Even on a lot of these individual products, I noticed there was a lot of talking. Well, not so bad on this one, but some other places, I would review the site in general and take all this talking. They call this happy talk. It's a real technical term in the designer world. All this happy talk, nobody's looking to your site for happy talk. They're looking to your site for products. They've come here looking to solve a problem. The problem is they need ski goggles. They need new board shorts, or at least they're browsing. They want a new bikini. They don't need you to talk to them. They want to see the bikini or the goggles or the board shorts. So I would really re-emphasize this. The happy talk isn't a bad thing, and it's good actually and very important for search engine optimization. But put all this stuff down below the products unless it's absolutely necessary. And this same thing, find us in Swansea. Very nice, but products first, then talk, then tell us where to find you. People aren't going to find you first, then read all your stuff, and then look at a product. I think you've got it sort of backwards, the paradigm in which you've organized your pages. I'd also wanted to say a word about the pictures you're using. Like I said, the stock shots, this kind of stuff, beautiful. You've really done a nice job. And I like these shots of your store. All the lighting could be a little better, perhaps, or maybe you put some people in them to make them look a little more fun. Those are pretty good. What I am going to question, though, is a lot of your model shots. Now, I know a lot of this stuff comes from the manufacturer. Like, this is probably not a shot that you took of these trainers. It's probably from Columbia. But your models, I don't know if these are your friends or what, but if you're going to really try to sell this stuff, I don't want to pick on anybody, but at least here in California, the people that model this stuff, they tend to be tan. Your models are very pale, and this is just maybe a style thing. But if you're trying to sell the lifestyle of surfing, well, skiing is not such a tan thing, although you usually at least get a good tan around your goggles, right? But the models tend to be very tan. They tend to be very attractive. And I would think that, from a lot of these surf companies especially, like, it's hard for me to believe Roxy doesn't have really sexy bikini models. And this is a very attractive young lady, but she's, at least by California standards, kind of pale. She looks more like she lives in Wales, and maybe that's what you're trying to do. But I just wanted to point that out. It's kind of up to you to figure out who you want, the style that you want to represent. in terms of the models you use, but it says a lot about you. Is this your target customer? Is this the guy that you want to show, that your customers want to be like? I don't know. My guess is maybe could use a haircut. Just maybe. Because in a lot of cases, as you well know better than I, people buy this stuff and they don't ever actually go surfing or skiing or snowboarding. They wear it and it's comfortable and it's cool. So this is a lot about an aspirational lifestyle. So I would check with your suppliers or spend some money yourself and see if you can get some sexier photos, basically, sexier product photos. I think it would help your sales to inspire people with how they want to look, even if it's not how they actually look. All right, well, what else we got to talk about? Oh, and then on each of these pages, let's go back to one of these category pages. For example, I'm clicking on ski glasses here for a moment. Or we'll also, there's one. And you can see all you've got is your products. And I think what might be helpful to you is to establish the category with what we call a hero shot. That's more from movies and TV. But a hero model is like you have a whole bunch of people in a crowd scene, but then you have one really good looking person and you put that person up front, right? When you're directing a music video or something like that, you put the prettiest girl up at the front so everybody can see her, or the best looking guy. I think these categories like surf jackets, you could use one big shot here of a really cool surf jacket with a really good looking guy or girl wearing it in a really cool place, in snowy mountains with the pretty pine trees behind them. And again, you could probably get those from your manufacturers and suppliers. And you've done this already on the homepage. Like we talked about, you've got those really nice establishing shots for your major categories, surf and ski, but why not do one on the subcategory pages as well? Because if you hit somebody with all these at once, it's a little overwhelming. If you have one at the top that says, a really good looking person wearing this nice Columbia Waypoint soft shell in brown, that immediately establishes they're in the right place. You're like, oh, this is a cool vibe. This is where I want to be. These are the kind of jackets I like. I want to live like this. And then they get into more of the detail. So I hope that's helpful. Now, the thing I want to talk about last, and perhaps most, is the real issue that I think you're going to have, and are probably having already, is differentiation. How is calusasurfandski.co.uk going to differentiate itself? There's lots and lots of people that sell this stuff. So first of all, I think your design already is cool. You asked me to pick on the sort of the smaller things that can optimize it, and I've been doing that here for you. But I like the design overall. The vibe is very nice. You've got these nice, what I was calling hero shots a minute ago. It really establishes the kind of funky edging you've got here, the little waves across the top. Your logo's cute, although I might make that bigger to brand yourself a little bit better. But to differentiate from all the other people that are just one click away, you said in your email that you're lowering prices. Well, I'd rather you not have to lower prices and just increase your sales and traffic by building a better brand. So let's talk about that for a second. First of all, you can differentiate on price. Well, that's easy to do, but that's a race to the bottom. Everybody does that. Your margins shrink and your business doesn't do so well. You do have to do some of that to keep up with the boys next door, but that's not my ideal differentiation strategy for you. The other is selection. Now, you seem to have a very wide selection here, and perhaps you need to make a bigger deal of that. I think maybe up here across the top, you could use a tagline that identifies sort of who you are and what value you're adding to the customer. Something like, I'm just making this up, the UK's coolest surf and ski supplier with the biggest selection in Wales, or something like that. That kind of gives you a vibe. You're like, okay, if I found this in Google, I'm like, okay, there's 50 surf stores here, or 50 people supplying this pair of board shorts or the hoodie I was looking for. There's 50 of them. Oh, but this is the biggest and coolest surf store in Wales. Oh, well, that's kind of interesting. I live in Wales, or I live near enough that you can ship to me. Something that consolidates your brand proposition and suggests not just what you are offering, but what value you're giving to the customer. Why should I shop here? Oh, they're the biggest with the best selection, and you maybe then throw in something about prices with great prices. And we're in Wales, which anybody in the UK will know. Well, that means I can get it quickly as well. And you make a big point of that here with your free shipping. And that sort of consolidation into a slogan, I think, would be helpful for you. Now, a little more about that is the other way you can differentiate is on your location. Being in Wales, I don't know how much competition there is. I gather there's some great surfing right near you, but I can't believe there's a whole lot of snowboarding. So maybe you're the only snowboard shop or snowboard clothing store in the area. You need to pull something out of your brand proposition and put it on the homepage and make kind of a big deal of why people should shop with you. If you're going for a local approach, then you've got your bit about we're in Swansea and you can come visit us. You've got these nice shots of your store. It looks like a very credible establishment establishment. I think this is good. I would pump up this whole local approach, or whatever it is that differentiates you in your mind, and then I would surface some of that on the homepage. A little more. See, you've got this really long right navigation here. It goes on and on and on. So that means you've got a bit more space in here. You don't want this site to take 5 minutes to load, but you could put a quick photo of, hey, here's a nice photo of our store, and some verbiage that says, come visit the coolest and biggest surf store in Wales. We're right down the street. And something that kind of sexes it up and it's cool. And these kind of photos you have to suggest to people why they should come and visit and that you are local. Then I would also put some pictures of you and your people on there. This is a very people-oriented type of clothing. This is not commodity clothing. People are here to mimic a lifestyle. How about some pictures of you and your staff, not just sitting behind your desks, but how about wearing the clothes at the beach or in the mountains, doing the thing? The thing you're selling is an aspirational lifestyle. How about Paul gets out there wearing his Columbia hoodie and his goggles, and he's snowboarding, right? That would be really cool, and it would give a sense to people that, hey, these people know what they're talking about. They're not just some anonymous e-commerce company. It feels to me like you're deliberately hiding who you are, in fact, and I see this with a lot of English sites. I know English people are really trained to not stick their heads up and be as brash as we Americans sometimes are, but look at this About Us page. Now, could this be much more boring? I mean, it's pretty nice copy, I guess, but I'm not actually going to read it all. Your About Us page can be done in 10 seconds with 3 nice photos. Here's the team. Here's the founder actually snowboarding or surfing. And here's our store. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, that looks for real. And then somebody might read this stuff. Okay? But the founder's face should be on here, and you should make a big deal that you're local, you're cool, we live this life. And frankly, even if you don't live the life, you could get some model shots or hire somebody, or, go on Flickr and find somebody that's doing this kind of thing and say, hey, can I pay you $50 to license this photo to use on my website? I mean, you got to look like you really do this. Okay, so then last, offers and promotions I want to talk about. How are you going to differentiate? Well, the other way to differentiate is to build up a loyal following. The best way to build up a loyal following is to get people to be loyal, which means you have to give them something to be loyal to, which could be this culture that I'm talking about, your consistently great selection, your local service, all that stuff, but also offers and promotions. You've got free shipping, that's good, but you make a big deal here of offers and promotions. I'd be more specific. Like what? Like, how about 10% off, or join our board riders club, or win some free goggles, or like be specific. This is kind of a placeholder. You've made a kind of a feint in the right direction, but land the punch. You've got offers and promotions. Like what? And what do I get? And what do you have to do to qualify? And here's the killer. It's this. You need this sign up. This is your biggest thing. You've got all your signups down here at the bottom of the page, and you've given them a lot of space. Here, Facebook, Twitter, and especially the email, but you've buried them. Look how long this page is. Look how long this page is. I bet you're not getting a lot of signups. And you need to put that stuff up here, and I would rework this, say offers, not offers and promotions, but join our email list, maybe you'll win a new ski helmet, or get 10% off your first order, or something like that. Like, come on in, join us, and get involved. And you need to make a big deal of that newsletter, or your blog, or if you don't want to do a newsletter, then you're really active on Twitter, or you're really active on Facebook. Choose your format and your medium, and engage with your customers. If you're going to spend all the time and money to build this site and to market it so that people visit, capture those email addresses, or make Facebook friends out of them, or something, so that they don't click away and you lose them forever to a competitor. So I hope that's helpful to you, Paul. You've got a real nice site here, but I hope those are some insights in terms of product strategy and e-commerce merchandising that could be helpful to you in making more money at calusasurfandski.co.uk. I'm Scott Fox from clickmillionaires.com, the friendliest online marketing coaching community in the world. If you'd like to join us, come over to clickmillionaires.com and you can get one of these expert website reviews for free, as well as meet other friendly entrepreneurs from all over the world who are sharing tips and tricks for making more money online and building their own lifestyle businesses. That's all at clickmillionaires.com. And if you'd just like to sign up for one of these expert website reviews, I'm Scott Fox, and you'll find me at expertwebsitereviews.com. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for listening. See you real soon online. Get out there. Let's make it happen.